Hello and welcome to the incredibly influential and highly successful podcast. I'm incredibly influential.
And I am highly successful.
Today is Tuesday, May 17th, 2022, as we're recording this, and I want to dedicate this episode to how about to my aunt. We're actually going on vacation, that's why we're not recording this on Thursday. So we're actually gonna go down to my cousin's new farm and we're gonna go help him out there. So I want to dedicate it to her and to him. So good on them for working hard, and I want to thank them for taking me down there so I can have a little break from
I think you cut out there.
home. Did I?
You did for a
No.
second.
It it doesn't look like I did. The
There was a
the
flat line,
track.
but it's. Oh, there you go again.
No. I just stopped talking. I just
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I, okay. I
I
wasn't because it
paused
sounds so
and
much
then
like
I
you were in the
I
middle of saying something and you
see
just
right
stopped so
there, I
perfectly.
didn't talk.
So you
No,
did it
no, I
again right
just that's
there.
just how I
It's like
talk.
a
That's
perfect.
just how I talk. That is just how I
Your
talk.
mic must be like just cutting you off right before you end your sentence because
No,
I don't know. That is if I don't.
I don't.
I'm swear to God, the way you cut off, it does sound like you're like muting
No,
yourself.
that's that is
That's
just how I talk. That's how. Yeah, I'm not like muting my mic or anything. My voice box is muting my voice.
it's
It
so
just
it
happens.
seems so abrupt, but maybe it's the first time I've noticed it. I don't think I've noticed that
I
before
don't know
though.
how you haven't noticed it over the last like 8 years that we've been friends. 8, 9. Yeah, I it just happens. Like I can't really control it. That's just my normal speech patterns, dude. I don't know what you want me to say.
Yeah. Well, let's get into like a topic. I suppose the topic that I could talk about that I'm going to talk about is my car situation. So Nick, I'm not sure how much you know about my car situation, but I'll kind of catch you up. That way we can have a
Yeah,
basis for this. So
let's hear it. Let's hear it.
I bought my car in November, right?
Yes.
I bought it used, of course, because expensive. It's expensive to buy a new car.
Yeah. Don't I know it?
So there was already a couple things that were like not the best about this car, but for the
Hmm.
most part, it looked great. Everything worked properly, right? But
Yes.
I don't know if I'm just unlucky or if the previous owner knew about the problems or if you know I just unfortunate events happened. But pretty much, uh, so the first thing that happened, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
I would lend my car to my mom because her car was getting worked on that was like a couple months back at this point, right?
Yeah.
Gave it to her and she noticed that one of the tires was a little bit flat, right?
Hmm.
And that's not a problem, just fill it up with air, right? Well, what happened, she was driving and the tire split from the inside. So if you look at the tire from the outside of the car, it looks perfectly fine, right? They took the tire off,
Yes.
and on the opposite side there was a huge gash in the tire, right? From where it just completely split open, right? Already a bad start. But I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, well,
It's just the tire, right?
it's okay. We have a spare, right? That's what spares
Yeah.
are for,
Exactly.
right? The spare didn't fit, right? So uh, we had to get a whole new tire. Um, and we had to get it right away because again, no spare. The spare
Yeah.
that they gave me
Yeah.
didn't even fit the car. I don't know what car that spare fits to, but it's not mine. We get a new wheel, right? And it's fine. It's fine for the meantime, right? No problems.
Yeah.
All right. Then uh this was probably like a month and a half ago at this point. Uh I was going to school. right? I have my in-person classes. I was going to school. I think that this day wasn't a class though. I just had to go for some errand at the school. My car is making like a little bit of a noise, but this errand's like real important. Can't miss it. I'm going in. I'm hearing a little bit of a noise, right? A little bit of a like. Do you have like one of those like gas lawnmowers? You kind of how you know how it makes that like kind of like that
Yeah.
vibrating noise,
Yes.
like
Yes.
right? I knew it wasn't the engine, right? But there was a noise, and my car was a little shaky, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I stop halfway to the school, go like stop at a gas station, right? And I look and I check all the wheels because the wheels have are the only things that have given me problems up to this point, right? Either whether it be air pressure or that one faulty wheel or the bad spare. So I thought it's probably the wheels again, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everything looks perfectly fine, not a single problem. So I'm like, you know what? I can't turn back now. This is a really, really important errand. I'm like, I'll figure it out later, right? I get on the
Yes.
highway and all that, it sounds like a lawnmower, or like full blast with the how loud it is vibrating, but I'm like, it's probably fine. We'll deal with it
Yeah.
later, like I said, right? Can't be that urgent. And I go around a U-turn, get off the highway, go around a U-turn. The school is literally right off of the U-turn, right? So I'm within viewing distance of the school, right? And I guess the way that I turned, the lug nuts on my wheel snapped in half on the front right tire.
That
And
is
on the
wow.
U-turn, the lug nut snapped and the tire went one direction and my car went the other direction. And my car fell to the ground. I was able to like scrape up to like the side of the road, right?
Yeah.
So I'm on the
Yeah.
far
Off
right
to the
lane,
off to the curb. Yeah.
right? But
Yes.
it's so sad because I'm standing on the lawn of my school and this tragedy happens and I'm like, what's the irony of it all, right?
Yeah.
Uh
There's yeah. Mm-hmm.
the tire just flies off. At first I thought it was a flat, and then I got out of the car and I see my tires way up against some random tree and I don't know. It was a very dramatic day. I had to get a tow truck, I had to do all these things. We bought new lug nuts, and I thought, okay, well, my misfortune it must be ending now, right? We had the bad tire, we had the
Yeah.
bad lug nuts.
Yeah.
We're
Your
we sh-
skid plate's a little worse for wear, but
yeah,
you're
we're
fine.
we're we're perfectly fine, right? There's no way it could get any worse, right? Come like a week ago, um, and I'm driving and I'm noticing I get up to like a certain speed, right? Maybe like 40 miles per hour, and it starts shaking little by little until it becomes like a really big, very apparent shake. And I'm sure that if
Mm-hmm.
that you know that if you can feel the shake more in the steering wheel than anywhere else, right? Because the steering wheel you can feel pretty much the road, like in the if it's bumpy, you can feel all that in the steering wheel, right?
Yes.
So I start to feel it in the steering wheel little by little, and then it's shaking a whole bunch. I have a little mount for my phone. And the way I can know that it's like a real bad is because my phone will fall off the mount because of how much it's shaking,
Yes.
right? And I'm like, okay, well, this isn't great. I don't want to drive it too far because um, ever since that thing with my tire happened, I'm like, I don't want to drive it if I don't have to, right? I do drive it to and from work. I don't have to get on the highway, fortunately, to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
But this weekend on Saturday, I take it to go get checked, and apparently there's just like a billion things wrong with my car all of a sudden. They
Mm-hmm.
say, "Oh, you need $700 now, and if that doesn't work, you're gonna have to buy a $2,000 part." And I'm like, "Oh my God, how did this happen?" Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I finally decided. I was trying my best to just fix up the car one thing at a time. But now I realize it's probably more trouble than it's worth. So I
Yep.
was So I was talking to my girlfriend, Jennifer, our last guest. If you were here the last time,
Our only guest
our own yes, our
so
last
far,
and
thus
only
far,
guest. Hopefully not
thus far.
hopefully not the very last guest.
All right,
um,
sorry, not last, most recent,
there,
most
there you go. There
recent.
you go. Our
I
most
am
recent
willing to
guest.
try that experiment again in the future.
Yes. But I was talking to her. She suggested that she buy a new car and sell me hers. Right. I've driven her car before. It's like almost the same as mine. I'm not sure if you know what car I have. I have a Nissan Maxima, right?
That's what you get for buying a fucking Nissan. You know what?
2010 Nissan Maxima, and she has a 2010 Nissan Altima, right? So I'm pretty much going from a Nissan to a Nissan the same year and everything, right? But her car
Mm-hmm.
hasn't had any problems for her. And I'm hoping that it's not just like my bad luck and I buy this car and then the same things happen again. I'm really hoping
Mm-hmm.
that because of the good track record the car has, it'll stay that way. Because I don't do anything too reckless with my car, right? I'm not out here like driving too fast. I'm not doing any of that, right? I'm a very boring driver, boring and safe, the way it should be.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought the car from her a little earlier. I'm about flat broke now, give or take, a couple dollars in my wallet.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm trying my best to sell this car. There is a little bit of an issue. I'm trying to talk to because my mom handled like the purchasing of the car, right? She was there with me and she was kind of like this kind of helped me with all of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's been helping me talk to the original guy, right? And making sure that we can kind of see if we can ask him because we were supposed to get our license plate, right? So I've had this car since November. My car was from out of state, which apparently made the license plate process a little bit more difficult, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're wanting to get my license plate, right? And pretty much all I'm doing now is I'm going to wait to get my license plate. Once I get my license plate, then I'm going to sell the car, right? Because right now, uh, I have an expired paper license plate on my car, which is not
Yeah.
very good, right? You can't be driving around with an
That's
expired license plate.
yeah. It's not great. That's not
And the car I just
fantastic.
bought doesn't have insurance on it yet because I just bought it like a couple hours ago, right?
Yes.
So so I'm going to get insurance on my new car. I'm going to hopefully get my license plate and then sell my other car, and then I will be out of this financial ditch I've dug myself in. That's
Yeah.
that's that's really my dream.
Get yourself out of the financial rut.
Yes, because I I like to spend like only a tiny fraction of my money, right? I'm like, if it costs more than 10% of my total earnings, I can't buy it. Even if it costs 5%. I'm like, I'm like, I buy small things here and there, right? But I prefer to have lots of money saved away. And now I pretty much
Mm-hmm.
spent all of my all the money I saved. That way I
Yeah.
can I can make this change.
Yeah.
I
I get
should
it.
be able to get that money back again whenever I sell the car, but right now it's a little tight. It's a little tight. So hopefully the podcast will start raking in the big bucks. That's what I'm hoping. Sponsors out there, if you hear my
Uh,
plea, we're here for you.
I mean, I'm not sure that's great. Uh, I'm not sure that's a great thing to hope for. I think maybe you're a little bit I think maybe that's kind of a long shot is what I'm gonna say. Um, we would basically take any sponsors, but I'm not sure we're gonna be finding any. um,
Well,
Overall, we're actually doing pretty well. I checked this morning, um, right before noon, and we had 81 total downloads.
Is that like a? Is it by episode or is that like for the whole podcast?
That's for the whole podcast. You think we're getting close to 100 downloads per episode? What the fuck? No.
Well,
No, 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 no.
I'm just
No.
curious. Can you check the per episode and see if
Yes.
the numbers are going up, or if they're staying, if they've dropped? Because I know you're the one
Um
that really handles the logistics of this, right?
it's
Um,
not especially uh it's not especially accurate. Um uh by some metrics it isn't. By others it is. I know the followers count is an estimate, but the downloads count is usually pretty solid. And it will tell you the total downloads, and it'll tell you the downloads since day 1, day 3, day 7, day 14, whatever.
does it say like the platform performance of each of the platforms?
Not really.
It doesn't tell you like if you got these downloads from Spotify or these downloads from Apple or these downloads from whatever.
No, but it does say what percent they are.
What
Um,
percent? So it gives you it gives you like a percentage of each. Okay. I'm assuming the majority is Spotify. Spotify is usually pretty the big one, right?
that's not what I saw actually. I think I
Oh,
saw that Overcast is really leading the pack here in
oh,
terms
I'm
of our
what is
podcast downloads.
what is Overcast? I'm not familiar with that, I don't think, but thank you for
I
our Overcast listeners.
I don't know. I don't even know if that's one of the things that I had to set up or if it automatically did that for me.
It must have automatically did it because I don't think either one of us know what Overcast is. But thank you for all of our Overcast listeners.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you very much. Also, the place. It shows us where the places are. So, there was one download in Moscow. I assume that that's like the
Oh yeah, I
guy
saw
that
you post that.
yeah, my working theory about
Hmm.
that is that it's the guy that is in the Russian government who listens to, or like there's like a Russian cultural agency thing, and they have a bunch of people who just kind of listen and watch all the new media that the West puts out, and it's like, is this safe for a Russian listener to listen to, or will this cause them to have critical thinking and want to overthrow our fascist government?
Hopefully they
And
don't
I
listen to
think,
this episode.
no, they've only downloaded one episode, so I think we failed. I think we failed the test. But anywho, fuck Vladimir Putin, fuck Russia. I hope Ukraine invades you and captures you, Putin, and puts you on trial for all the terrible things you do. And I hope they find you guilty, you fucking massive piece of shit. Fuck Russia. Long live Ukraine. Fuck China. Long live Taiwan. Taiwan number one. Uh, yeah.
Yeah,
I had
fascinating.
a topic. I had a topic that I
Oh,
was
you have
gonna
an
say.
idea?
The place that has downloaded it the most is Ashburn, Virginia, and I think I know why. I
Is
because my
Ashburn, Virginia, like somewhere you used to live? You have friends there or something?
no, 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 no. My godfather lives there, and I think he's uh kind of told some of his friends about the podcast. So I just want to say thank you, Justin, for listening. Uh, we appreciate it a lot. You're definitely our most loyal listener. So yeah, we just want to thank you for that. And then Houston is right behind Ashburn.
Houston. I
Yeah,
do have to say I
that
have
makes
one
sense.
friend who I've introduced the podcast to who surprisingly has been keeping up with it. So thank you.
Who,
If you're listening.
who's that? I wonder. I'm curious. Now I'm very
It's
curious.
not Jennifer. I know you're thinking it's Jennifer. No,
I
Jennifer
know it's no.
is
You
not
would have if
Jennifer.
it was Jennifer. You would have said it was Jennifer. No,
No,
who is it?
it's one of my coworkers at my job. I'm not sure if I talked about it on the podcast, but I
What'd
work
they
there as
say
like
about me then?
uh
They know you. What'd they say about me?
they said you were quite eccentric. I think that they were talking about the what's it called? The episode where you said guns like 15 times. Guns, guns, guns,
Well,
guns, guns. I feel like they
well,
can they can tell you're passionate. That I think that's what they were trying to say. You're passionate,
it, I mean, all right. I, 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 I don't know why you didn't tell me this, but yeah, there have been 8 downloads from Ashburn, Virginia, as of this morning, and there were 7 in Houston. So
They're probably
I,
I don't know if just listening counts as a download. I'm not really sure what merits a download. Um,
neither am I.
so
Neither am I.
because that might be my friend if it just counts like listens and it takes like a duration sort of thing. Uh,
Yeah, I'm not sure.
or
I'm
I don't
genuinely
know.
not sure.
Downloads is a weird metric, isn't it? I feel like you should
It
just
is.
give like a watch. I feel like having like a YouTube's analytics sort of thing would be helpful, right? That way we could be like, oh, this many people listen for this
YouTube's
long.
analytics, um, they're not quite super accurate,
I know, but
but
I feel like they give you a lot of information and it's mostly accurate, right?
mostly, yeah.
Right, they tell
It takes a
you
while for it to come in. I think the issue is that the RSS feed, um, like there's so many different services that use it, and they have to compile every single bit of data, and they're all every single podcast service uses their data differently. So I think computing all that various stuff, it's a miracle that they managed to get it to whatever locations that it is, you know. So it's like I'm not sure. Uh, I'm not sure they could really get the watch time data in. I'm not entirely sure they could do that. I'd have to. I'd probably have to have a chat with the people who
well,
run RSS to figure that out.
yeah, like I feel like even if we can't get like super duper specific data, I feel like just knowing how many people listen
Yeah,
uh would be a helpful metric. Even if we had something simple like that, we don't need a whole bunch. It's just the bare minimum, right?
yeah.
Yeah, like but we could transition to another topic. Maybe we should talk about maybe summer plans, right? I think that you just finished school, I just
What?
finished school. Have you gotten your grades back?
Summer plans.
Have you gotten grades yet?
I have one more essay due tomorrow. I don't even
Oh,
get a
you're not
full
done
week
yet?
off. No, I did an optional final exam for math yesterday. I did one for accounting today, and I have a final draft due tomorrow. I get about 4 days off between semesters, and then I start again on Monday. So,
Okay, so you're
by
doing
the time you
school
guys
again.
hear this, I will be back in school. I'm
Nice.
taking 6 classes over the summer. I have no summer plans. I just suffer.
Well, I feel like school is a decent idea, It's a way to be productive. For me, I am trying to get like a full-time uh decently high-paying job, right? I
That's
might
yeah,
just do like warehouse work again because warehouse work, it's not that difficult and it pays pretty well compared to like a lot of other type of work that I can get into with the amount of experience I have.
yeah.
So I might just go back into the warehouse. I did apply to one already. Hopefully I get in. Cross my fingers. Um, they pay 18 an hour, so
Is that
that's what
more or less than what you're making right now?
that is less than what I'm making right now. But I would be getting full hours, like a full 40, versus
Yeah,
now when I get a 12, right?
yeah.
So overall, I will be making more money.
I would
And I
say,
won't have to deal with children, which you could take it as a plus or a
yeah.
minus. You know
I
what I
mean,
mean?
does your job end now that the school year is ending and like they have the
Yeah,
summer off?
like
Yeah.
basically, I will work until Thursday, and then that'll be my last day.
Oof.
And then I think that the kids are gonna have like a field trip, and I can volunteer, which I am going to volunteer, to go in and log in extra hours that way,
Yeah,
and
a couple
then I'll
extra bucks.
be fully done, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
I I maybe I'll get invited back for the fall semester and the spring semester next year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think that what I'm gonna try to do is I'm going to try to take more hours on in the fall semester and in the spring semester, because the way I've been doing it for this school year was I did it at the Amazon during the fall,
Mm-hmm.
and during that time I wasn't getting a whole bunch of hours. Right,
No.
ever since like last year, about halfway through the year, they hired so many more people. They made it really hard to get hours. Everything has been really frustrating, right?
Yeah.
And then in this spring, I've been doing the tutoring, and I was capped at a certain amount of hours. It was Monday through Friday, but there was low turnout on Friday, which unfortunately meant that they didn't want to pay us to come in on that day, which was
Mm-hmm.
sad for me, who needed every dollar.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it
Uh,
makes sense.
the only problem I might have is just how much time I'll have to actually do schoolwork, right? Because that's my biggest worry is if I do a full course load, but I also have a full time job, it might be a little difficult. I might do
Yeah.
maybe a lighter course load for my next semester. That
I
way,
I've just stepped back from working because I want to uh finish out this semester well. I started the semester in some pretty dicey situations, and
yeah, like
yeah,
if
you
if I
you kind
had
of
the
remember that.
if I had the opportunity and the ability to, let's say, have a little bit more support financially from like my parents and all that, that would be great. I'd love that, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
could just do part time, just get a little bit of money here and there. That way, I could just have it for in case I wanted to buy something, or if I needed to pay like one or two bills, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that would be perfect. And it has been perfect so far. But after this whole car situation, I'm realizing that I need to start building up my savings.
Yes.
And by the end of the summer, if I don't like how my savings looks, then I'm gonna just keep it full time. If I'm satisfied with it, I might go back to part time. I just
Mm-hmm.
really want to build up the amount that I have.
Yeah. I just think it's important to find a good work school life balance because all three of those things need to get done. If you fall behind in one, you will fall behind in the others as well. They're all connected. Uh, it's they're all interwoven, and I think the best thing to do is to make sure you are hitting that balance. So for me, I know that well with how bad inflation's gotten, it I saw today, it's $5 even for a gallon of unleaded, just normal.
Well, I have to say, like, I I have like only one gas station I ever go to because it's always the
Yeah,
cheapest in my area, and that's the Walmart gas station. Walmart gas.
yeah,
Plus, I have like the Walmart subscription. I got like a little trial for it, ten
yeah.
cents off per gallon.
You guys are close to the ocean and all the oil platforms out in the Caribbean Gulf.
I'm
Not
not
the Caribbean
on
Gulf,
the
the
coast.
Gulf of
Jennifer,
Mexico.
Jennifer's on the coast, but Galveston's real expensive. Now that's where she lives. Everything in
Yeah.
Galveston is so expensive.
I mean, is it
It,
$5 even to get normal gas though?
well, I'm not talking about gas. I'm talking about everything in Galveston.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. But
Galveston is like a community for like those rich white people, those old white people. That's what Galveston
hmm
is like. I'm in Houston, and in
yes.
Houston it's a little bit better than it is in Galveston.
Yeah.
The gas, haven't gotten gas in quite a while. I'm gonna have to get something soon, but I think that I was buying premium and it was like 370 maybe.
What the hell are you buying premium for?
Uh, j- because because the car I had, the really crappy one, it was premium preferred, and I thought, oh, if I buy premium, then I won't have more problems. Of course, that type of thinking did not work because I had more problems. But
You should just never buy a fucking Nissan. That's the moral of the story here, kiddo.
I think
Is
that
never buy a
it's
fucking
not
Nissan.
the car. I think it's just about like how the previous owners must have they must have just wrecked that car or like really not taking care of it because
No, my dad. All right. I feel like we can decide the title of this episode is "We're Not Car Guys" because we're not.
we're not.
No,
That's very clear.
but my dad is, and one of my friends is literally a car prodigy,
Hmm.
and like literally, I was with him one time. We were hanging out. I think we had driven over to like this, not the mall, but like the strip mall. Uh, uh, and we had like sat into we just gotten into our car, and he like smelled over like the next guy over his car. He was like, oh, he listed off some technical problem. I'm like, you can tell that by the smell. Yeah, no, he's literally a vehicular mechanical prodigy.
I feel
And
I feel like I also am like good at things like that, but nothing as useful as cars. And I feel
yeah,
like I need to be
you're
good at a skill that actually is useful because I'm good at like saying like, "Oh, yeah, that's from this show or that's from this game." I need to be good at like, "Oh, that's this part from this car." You know what I mean? Because
yeah,
do we have
learning a
any
trade.
useful skill, right? Do you have any
Do
like really
either of
useful
us?
skills?
Not until the apocalypse happens. I am very
Exactly,
blessed
right.
with survival skills. Um, you
Well, yeah,
know.
that's more like maybe if you went camping, that would be good skills to
Oh
have,
yeah, every time I
like
go
wilderness
camping.
outdoorsy skills.
Oh
I
yeah, every
I don't
yeah,
have much of any skills like that. Not at all. I want
yeah.
to maybe start getting into like I was talking about this with Jennifer as well. Maybe like getting into like furniture making because I wanted to try to
That's not
see.
too hard.
Yeah, yeah, but the thing is like I've learned that it's kind of expensive to get into just because of the
Yes,
amount of
lumber prices are very
tools
bad
and
right now too.
lumber, and I don't really have a lot to start off with, right? A lot of people would just borrow their dad's tools, but
You don't really have room to get into it either.
yeah, I don't have a lot of room, right? Which means that if I did want to get into it, I'd have to pretty much work outside in the sun because there's no indoor space I could work in.
Yeah, the Houston sun in the summer
Yeah, it's not the
sounds like
greatest
hell.
time to get into woodworking, but or into
No, not at all.
furniture making. But I thought I was like looking into it, and I think that I probably could do it. There is the whole thing where I'm super poor right now, so
Hello?
maybe wait on it a little bit.
You completely cut out there. Like it's not even showing that you were
Oh,
talking there.
okay, that
Yeah, you
okay.
completely flatlined there.
That was strange. What was the last thing I said?
I don't even remember, but I think you were talking about saying, "Oh, I don't really have the room," but and then
Yeah, yeah. So I don't have the room. I don't have the money because again,
yeah.
going back to the whole I'm poor now thing. So
Mhm.
it's a dream that hopefully won't get lost forever. You know, hopefully eventually we'll come back to that. But for right now I just can't do anything about that.
Yeah. I think
Y-
uh I think you're probably in the wrong place in of the country to learn how to do really good, solid furniture making and woodworking. Because the people who are really good at that in this country are the Amish, and the Amish live up here. They live in Pennsylvania, they live in Ohio, and they live in Indiana. And there's a ton of them, and they do Really, really solid work. What really surprised me is, to keep this on the topic of vehicles, actually,
Hmm.
um, most RVs are made in a small town in northern Indiana, and it's like 70 to 80% of all RVs or something like that, and they're all made up there. And there's a huge, huge Amish community there, and they do most of the construction involved in making those RVs. So if you get one that's from that area of the country, like most of the woodwork and detailing and all that was done without electronics by hand by a bunch of Amish people who work really, really hard, and they they make some good quality
You
products.
know, it is funny that you mentioned that, right? Because I was looking into woodworking, and after I saw how expensive it was, I was like, okay, well we can still do this. We just have to go manual, right? And I was looking at hand tools and all that, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it is funny that you mentioned like by hand and all that because that was gonna be my alternative. That way I could still keep the dream alive, but also
Oh
save my
yeah.
wallet, my money,
Oh
right?
yeah. Yeah. 100%.
There's a
Now you
much
just gotta.
there's a much steeper learning curve though if I go by hand, right?
Yeah.
And I've tried my best to like look into the topic, right? But it's very
Mm-hmm.
difficult to learn to like understand just how complex this is because every single video has some new vocabulary word that I have no idea what they're talking about. And then that leads me down a rabbit hole of a whole bunch of other things this way and that way and there's just way too much. I'm just trying to figure out a starting point, like a level 0, right? That way I can be that way I can do something.
Yeah.
Maybe I gotta start with building like a pencil case or something, you know? Start super duper basic before I can start building like actual furniture.
I think, yeah, that is a decent idea. I think actually, all right, so the I'm gonna get very meta on this. The people who really inspired me to get into podcasting are the McElroy brothers, creators of My Brother and Me, and The Adventure Zone, to name a few.
Hmm.
Um, they're these three brothers. If you haven't heard of them, if you're listening to this podcast but you haven't heard of My Brother and Me, I mean, like, I don't even know how that's possible. They're huge, but basically, if you know you don't know, they're these three brothers. Um, Justin is the oldest, Travis is in the middle, Griffin is the youngest, and Justin over the pandemic decided that he would get into woodworking as well.
Oh
He
yeah.
he was like in like December of 2020, I believe. He was like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna get into it, and sort of throughout the podcasts since then, you know,
Hmm.
we've kind of had certain updates in his little woodworking adventure type thing.
Does he have
Uh,
like an Instagram or something where he posts like updates as well, or is it just podcast?
I don't know how much he really posts in terms of like woodworking updates. But he is uh yeah, I don't think he posts that much in terms of woodworking updates, but he is, I'm sure he probably talks about it on Twitter. Yeah, so Justin kind of got into it. I think he had like zero experience, but over the past year and a half, he's actually from what I've heard and what I've seen, you know, he's learned a whole lot, and I think it is absolutely possible to learn a trade in that amount of time. You know, carpentry, cobbling, uh, blacksmithing, any kind of trade. I think
Well,
if you really put your mind to it, you can get it done.
yeah, like I wanted to find some sort of trade or something that I could get into, right? And I feel
Mm-hmm.
like wood furniture making is probably not the hardest, but I feel like I feel like it's reasonable
I
enough,
think
you know,
I
that I
think
could
that
that I
attitude
could merit
is
getting into it, right? I feel like some.
Yeah.
professions or some crafts, right, are a little too advanced for me. Maybe one day, because we also have to consider I don't have a lot of space,
Yeah.
and I don't have a lot of money, right? And I feel like
Yeah.
woodworking is decent because the amount of space that I need isn't really that much, right? Because
Mhm.
I once I store away the tools, it'll probably fit like in like a box, right? Especially if I'm getting hand tools, those are like much smaller than any power tools, right?
Yeah.
All I need to do is get like a table that I can like set up outside and like use, right? The problem is that
Mhm.
I will be having to use the sun. I'll be underneath the sun, which is not the best, right?
Yeah.
But it's much better than if I wanted to get into like smithing. That's way more expensive, way more space intensive, and
Yeah.
it's it would be a lot harder to get into, right?
I
There's like
I
3D printing and all
I
that,
wouldn't
but
say
I I
I wouldn't say
I
it's like harder to get into. I don't think any trade is
well,
really.
I feel like again, these are considering my circumstances, right? Just if you consider
Yeah.
just my situation, it's more difficult, right, than woodworking.
Yeah.
If you consider my situation, if we're not considering my situation, we're just assuming you have infinite space and infinite money. Sure, I think that the learning curve for all of them is about the
Yeah.
same, maybe some more than others, right? But
That's what I'm kind of saying, right? Like
yeah,
I
yeah,
think the attitude of like, oh, it's this is less or more or less complicated. I think that's the wrong way of going about it. I
yeah,
think they're all
I just
roughly
feel
the
like it's
same.
all about the amount of space it takes up, the amount of money it takes up. That those are the biggest differences. I feel like the actual learning curve, the actual process, all those things probably very similar to each other. They all probably take a long time to get really good at, but you can see progress as you go through it. And I feel like there's nothing too hard that nobody could do, right? Obviously, if you put the time in, you could do whatever you want, right?
Yeah.
It's just all about that commitment, right? And I feel like woodworking is something that I could probably start real small with. Maybe just build like I said, like a pencil box or like just like a like a sort of desk box or something small. Maybe like an actual like a table item instead of an actual table. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And then maybe if I'm like noticing that I'm getting decent at it, I can try to do something big like a table. But
Mhm.
I watched a like I have like really really bad attention span, right? Which is why I don't listen to podcasts very often because
Mhm.
uh it's just it's not enough to take my attention away from whatever I'm doing, right?
Mhm.
Usually I have to have like four videos on at the same time. That's a little bit exaggerating, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I actually sat down and I watched a 2.5 hour video of somebody making a footstool
That
from
does
start
show a
to
level of
finish.
commitment. That does show a level of commitment that I wouldn't have expected from wouldn't. That's
But
like the one joke in this whole fucking episode. It's terrible.
hey,
Oh my
we're
god.
we're funny, guys. We're funny. That's
That
why.
comedy podcast. That's the number one category for this podcast is just comedy. And
Hey,
that's the one joke in this fucking. Oh my
we met the
god.
quota. All right. No, but like I saw like how deep it goes, right? Like and how much effort it takes to get into these things and all that, right?
Mhm.
Obviously, after looking at the video, I realized that the financial burden that it would be just to get all of these things that he used in the video would be way too much, right? So I was like, I like the idea of watching the video. I just don't think I could do that reasonably within the time frame that I want, right? Which is soon. So I've
Yeah.
been trying to look up other videos with hand tools, but it is really hard to find videos that aren't like 15 million tools. I want one that has like 5 tools, maybe. You know what I mean? Something simple, something. like I said, as a starting point, right? Because if you look up any furniture piece on YouTube, they're gonna be like, and here's this special tool I have for this, and this special tool I have for that, and that special tool I have for that, and it's not very accessible to beginners who are
No,
on a
not
budget,
especially.
right? You have to really search for the videos that are beginner friendly. And that's what I've noticed, because you would think that it would be beginner friendly, and if you have a large amount of money and you're beginning, then that's perfect for you. But not for me, not for me.
Yeah.
But let's talk about. Well, it was supposed to be summer plans, right? That was kind of the goal of what we were going with this. Are you actually not doing anything this summer? You don't have like a vacation or a summer thing that you do with your family or anything like that?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm trying to think if I have something, but I really can't think of anything that really jumps out at me. I
Well, do you have
mostly
like a
just
goal
do
for the
things.
summer? You know, like I know that I
Uh,
said like the woodworking was kind of like a goal that I kind of wanted to get started on in the summer.
mhm.
You have anything like that, like a goal you have set?
I think probably 100 Twitch followers,
A
maybe.
hundred Twitch
I don't know.
followers, 100 Twitch followers, and he'll be funny now.
Yeah, I will. I will be funny now. I won my I think my
You know,
third
like
game. No, my fourth game.
I read that as I'll start being funny once I get 100 Twitch followers. That's what I thought.
Fuck no.
That's
Fat
how I
fucking
read
chance.
it.
Fat fucking chance. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I have made a commitment. I will never be funny.
It
That's
took me
never
a
gonna
second
happen.
to realize you were talking about the app. I really, I for a second, I really did think I was just like, man, he really just said, I'm gonna start being funny at 100 Twitch followers. Uh,
No. But I that was actually every game I've played. I've only played 4 games, but every game I played, I was in the top 3
I didn't know that you
of
watched Jack's
6.
films. I didn't know that
Uh,
you
I
did,
I uh I
cause
kind of yeah, I do. I would say, you know what? I am a fam squad member.
a
I
fam
would
squad
say that.
member.
I would
Like
say that.
I feel like I like his videos. They aren't the best, but they're pretty good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was there before Yai.
I
I was there.
think that I found him from I can't remember which one. It's been so many at this point, but
I was yeah, I remember when he first started that on Jack is a Nerd. I was there before YGS 100. I remember when YGS 100 was the meme. And everyone was like, "Oh, he's never gonna actually upload
look,
it." I remember
I
when it came
was
out.
there. I was there for the meme, right? Right before he came out.
Hmm.
But I don't think I was there at the beginning of I think it was a decent amount in.
Yeah,
Um,
I think we had just started being friends ish. No. We had been friends for a while when I started with Jack's films. Uh,
yeah, but I don't know. I just thought that was surprising, because I had been seeing the game like being advertised and all that,
yeah,
but actually seeing you mention it, I was like, oh, that's something else that I guess we we both watched that I didn't know about.
it's
It'd be pretty
fun.
interesting. Yeah,
It is very fun. I enjoy it.
I've tried
Um,
my best to like not really. I don't know. I've just haven't really been on the multiplayer games for a while. It's been a long time since I've been into any multiplayer games.
it reminds me of Jackbox,
Yeah, I would
like the
assume
experience
so,
of playing
right?
Jackbox, but I wouldn't say it's a perfect system because
I
it's
feel
like
like
you get
it,
four
Mhm.
method like you get 4 things to vote. Um, but you can so there's four emoji faces, right? There's
Mhm.
crying, laughing, smile, frowning, and then angry. But you can vote. You get as many of them as you want, right? So in theory, you could just vote angry face on everyone, or like vote negatively on everyone, and vote only. So like everyone else scores poorly, but you score well. I think if they had done 5 emojis, with one being like neutral, and like they forced you to vote, um, like at the end, like after you saw everyone's pitch, but that doesn't really work with the whole, it's
Yeah,
a comedy stage type thing.
because I think that it's supposed to be inspired by AI Live, right? Which the way AI Live would work is that they would all compete and then they would have like an audience vote, right? But
Mm-hmm.
because the people voting are also the people playing, I can see how it is a little bit easy to just kind of manipulate the the scores a little
Yes.
bit,
Yeah.
which
The way
isn't
Jackbox does
that
it is
funny.
that they force you to vote, right? Like
Well, the
that's
way that Jackbox does it is that they will pit two random people against each other, right?
yeah,
And they'll just be
yeah.
like, "Who's funnier?" And then they'll do that a whole bunch of times, and it's a little bit. I think it's better the way that Jackbox does it
Well,
because
that's
the thing is, I
Quiplash.
well again, I
That's
haven't
only Quiplash.
seen.
I'm talking about like patently stupid, or
Oh, I don't
there's
think I.
actually another one that is
I
kind
played
of like a comedy
four.
show
I played
type thing.
5, 6, and 7. I don't think I played any of the other ones. And
I,
I
I
think
I don't remember which pack it was in, but it's the one where like there's the ventriloquist dummy, and they give you a joke and you have to finish the joke, and everyone goes, and then you have to vote which one was funniest, and they force you to vote, right? Yeah.
yeah, but I
Patently
feel like
Stupid is the same way, and I
I
feel like it
f-
should work the way Patently Stupid works.
I feel like those type of games, right? They're real fun to play with like friends, right? But I feel like it kind of loses its appeal for me if it's just like online competitive, right? Because the whole point is like being able to have that social interaction. And I feel like you don't have that social interaction. Then it just becomes a game that you're just trying to win. And I understand winning's kind of fun, but I don't think it's enough for me to download the game, you know?
It's free, like that. That's I'm I,
I know,
I'm gonna say
but
like every qualifier I said about, oh, it doesn't work the way that I would like it to, all that. It's infinitely better than Jackbox because Be Funny Now is free. So
that is
that
true. I
yeah,
I I understand. Like I agree that being free is a great sell, right? But I don't know. I feel like if I had a choice to choose between both of them, and I already bought Jackbox, you know, obviously Jackbox is a little bit better. But I think
I
that
don't
it'd still
know.
be. I think that'd be
I
funny
think
now
the
would
problem with
be.
Jackbox though, there's a problem with Jackbox.
Okay. I think that the best way to play those type of games are if you have a group of people, right? You have a group of
Yeah,
people, all in
you can
person.
do that with Be Funny Now though.
Well, I know, right? That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying I probably wouldn't play online. I'd probably only play the. I'd probably only play it with people either on a call or in person. That's probably the only way I'd play it because I'm just not.
Yeah,
I'm not into like the competing with random people online. That's not. That's just not my thing. I think that's what I was trying to get at, right?
yeah, but
Like I wouldn't mind. Like
again,
I know you said you might stream it, right? Or
yeah,
maybe you might stream Jackbox. So if you ever stream one of those, I would definitely like to play. I think that'd be cool.
yeah. I
But
think that's the plan because
but people that like play like Jackbox, or those things, right? And they just it's all online. That's not for me. No, no, no. Can you even play
yeah,
Jackbox online? I don't know.
I'm not sure actually. But again, another issue with Jackbox that I kind of wanted to point out is Jackbox. Here, I'm gonna pull up Steam. I'm gonna look for the ones that I have on the wish list.
Wait, actually,
Um,
speaking of Steam, real quick, this is important.
yeah,
I I just now remember this. You made me buy a game, and we haven't played it yet. I've had it on my desktop, and it's
yeah,
just been sitting
Tabletop
there.
Simulator. Yeah, Tabletop Simulator.
Like when's that gonna happen, man? I've been waiting. I
It'll
downloaded
happen
it
when I
so long
fucking say
ago.
it happens.
It's been so long, and you told me to download
Shh,
it, and I
shh,
downloaded it, and there's
shh,
been radio
shh.
silence about it ever
Shut up!
since.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut
Okay,
up!
okay,
Shut
well
up!
we'll
Shut
drop
up!
it for now, I guess. But I thought
Okay.
I'd mention it.
I think the all right. So with Party Pack 5, right?
Mhm.
The
Mhm.
problem with Jackbox is they include a bunch of games that kind of suck big dick, if I'm honest. You know,
Well, I think every pack has like, well, I don't know about every pack. I haven't played all of them, but there
every
have
pack has
every pack has
one
like
or
one
two
good game.
hits.
Yeah, one or two
Yeah,
hits, and then a lot the other ones like you play once and probably never again, right?
Party
I
Pack 5 is I would say the closest to a closest to a full house. It's got 3 out of 5 games that I know I would have fun with.
Let me
Um
look at 5. I think that I might know what 5 is. So
so 5
5,
is You Don't Know Jack, but it's updated.
okay.
Split the Room, uh Madverse City, Patently Stupid, and some other one.
So
It's
I've played Dome. It's such a weird game to play on your phone. It's
yeah,
not very good.
I don't
And
think it would
Adverse
work.
City, I also didn't like.
No, Madverse City is so good. Madverse City. Did you play it in person?
I did. I don't. Maybe it's just like I didn't have a very good group. But also,
Yeah,
I'm not
no.
very good at the game,
Madverse
which
City is
also
ho-
I'm
Madverse
also
City
just
is so fun. Oh
I'm
my
also just
god,
not very
I
good at the game.
fucking
So that's
love
probably
Madverse
that.
City.
But what is You Don't Know Jack? I don't remember that one. I think I remember Split the
It's
Room
a
and Patently
trivia
Stupid.
game. It's a trivia game. It's
Is it
whatever.
all right or is it like
I don't know. I haven't played it. I haven't played I've played Patently Stupid and that's it.
I played Patently Stupid. I played Split the Room. I played Madverse City. I played Dome. I don't think I played You Don't Know Jack. Out of all them, Patently Stupid and Split the Room they were pretty decent, you know.
Yeah. Uh
But like
uh
let's see.
Party Pack 7 is the other one that's on my wish list. Um
I have 7.
uh
We could play it.
Quiplash 3. Quiplash 3. Well, I can't stream it.
No, you can't. Not if I'm not. Well, I could stream it. Get
Yeah,
the
you
viewers to
could, but
me.
how am I gonna get it on my YouTube? Because I would probably want to put the VOD on YouTube in case people
Well,
missed it.
I could just whenever I stream, I get the VOD. I don't know how I would send that to you, but
You
I
could
could.
download it, and then I could download it, and it would be like several hundred fucking gigabytes. But
It's not
whatever,
hundreds of gigabytes for 2 hours of
it
content.
would
It's
be
probably like
tens of gigabytes,
it probably wouldn't even be 10. It'd probably just be like a
depending
handful,
on the.
wouldn't
All
it?
right, what's the definition?
Well,
Because
whatever
if it's
definition.
standard definition, then yeah. But if it's in high def, then
It's Jackbox. How high definition do you really need it?
very. I
You need the
want to be
highest
able
definition.
to see I want to be able to see every single fucking pixel. Okay.
Okay, so
That
what is the difference between Quiplash 1, 2, and 3? Like, is there a big difference or is it mostly the
uh
same?
I it's the game that in the second round, right?
Hmm.
So I know Quiplash 3. I don't remember what Quiplash 1 or 2 had, but I know Quiplash 3 is you get a list and you have to list 3 things for a
Hmm.
prompt,
Okay.
and that's Quiplash 3. Um,
I did play Devil in the Details, and I thought that one was pretty decent. I like that one.
I didn't think I would
Um,
like that one. I don't think I would like talking points, to be
w-
honest.
I had this game. I bought it, and I don't remember half of these. I like Devil
Yeah,
in the
I
Details. Quiplash is classic, you know that. But the other three, I don't remember that much.
yeah. I would only buy Jackbox 7 for Champed Up and Quiplash 3. I wouldn't buy it for anything else. But I think Party
E
Pack 5 is kind of well, no, Quiplash is a classic, right? Like that's
well,
one of the best games.
the one that I liked a
Patently
lot
Stupid is
was
fun.
I liked number 6, Jackbox 6. The two games that I liked were Push the Button and then Murder Trivia Party 2, right?
Was
Those two I liked
isn't
a lot.
Push the Button kind of like a Mogus?
Yeah, it's similar, similar. Pretty much what happens is that you vote two people out, right?
And you have to get them
And
right on
and
this first
and
try.
you have to get it right on the first try. But the thing is, you have like pretty much like it's like an interrogation sort of thing. where you put them through different tests to see who is, so you can kind of try to get an idea for who is the imposter, I guess. I think that I don't know. I think it's just called the alien in this, but
Yeah, the alien. Yeah,
but the aliens also have like the ability to like sabotage the teammates to confuse the other teammates to make themselves look innocent, right?
yeah,
The alien, I think, has the ability to sabotage one teammate and to give themselves the right prompt one time,
yeah.
right? So
All right.
they get a
I think that could be fun. I think that could be
so
fun.
that one I do like. It is a fun game. The problem is that I get real into these games and I get real upset whenever other people aren't taking the game seriously.
Well, I think, and
And I'm
this
not
is
talking
where
about
we
like super
should.
seriously. I'm just saying like some people like will just completely not even play the game. They'll like
Yeah,
join
I
if they're not
think.
fun to play with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think where we'll leave it for Jackbox is it's important to remember to have a group of people that you can have fun with and that you really gel with humor wise, so that way you all get a good laugh out of it. And
But we're not gonna talk
I
about
think
Jackbox 4?
no, we don't have time. We have to go.
We have plenty of time.
Shut up.
In
Shut up.
we have
Shut
like 10 to
shut up. Shut the fuck up.
but
Shut
4 is such a good
shut the
one.
fuck.
You
Shut
gotta
the fuck. Shut up. Shut up.
I I
Shut shut up.
guess that's the end
Shut
of our Jackbox rant.
up. Yes. Okay, that's the end of our Jackbox rant. I want 100 followers on Twitch. Twitch.tv/KThugston. K
Yes.
T H U G S T O N. K Thugston. Go follow me.
Yeah, you can
Uh,
also follow me too. I don't stream very often, but you never know. One day.
I auto host him, so just it should
Yeah,
show
if
you
you follow
him.
him, that would help. But I'm Mercy Daddy on Twitch.
Mercy_daddy.
Mercy underscore Daddy. You're right.
Yeah.
It is Mercy
Anywho,
underscore
big red
Daddy.
button. Big red fucking button. We're gonna. I swear to God. I
Okay.
swear to God. Stop self
I,
promoting. We're doing the button.
okay.
We're doing the
We're
button.
we're doing the button already. Yeah.
It's
Oh,
time to
we
do
are.
the button.
Oh yeah, we are kind of running a little. Okay, let's
That's
see.
what I.
Okay, okay,
That's what I
okay.
was trying to tell you.
This is I've obviously have not been paying attention for like the last 30 minutes, but it's fine. It's
Yeah.
fine.
No shit. No shit, Sherlock.
Give us the button.
Talk about.
Or do you
All
want me
right.
to pull one up?
I
I can
I
get
thought
one.
no.
I can.
I have a few. I have a few. I have a few. I have a
Okay,
few. I
okay,
have a
okay,
few.
okay.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Hmm.
Wait. Let me. I'll copy paste some prompts. We'll see what we think. I have one that's kind of
Hmm.
similar to last week, but I like more. Maybe it's a little too similar though.
It's too similar. Let's wait a couple episodes before we go back to that. Before we
Um.
start beating that
Okay.
horse
Wait.
again.
Did I have we done this one yet? I don't think we've done this one. Let me paste that. Let's see. Here's another one I think I talked with you about, but I don't think that we've done.
Oh yeah. I was looking at that one. Do you want to do that one? Do you want to do that one?
The first one or the second
Let's
one I
do that one.
posted.
Here, I'll flip a coin. I'll flip a coin.
Sure.
Survey says it's the second one. Okay. So,
Okay.
the red button question is you have the ability to read minds, but you will not be able to tell the difference between what you read and what the person says out loud. So you will hear it in their voice, and you will not actually
I
like
guess
it's impossible to tell.
I guess you'd either see their lips move regardless of whether they're thinking out loud or not, or you would just their lips would never move ever, and you just hear random words. Either way, you get both. You get both. You can't differentiate the difference. What are you thinking on this? I'm still I feel like the idea of being able to know what people are thinking, right? And I feel like you could probably if you could probably use context clues to figure out what they're saying and what they're not saying, right?
Yeah, I
Like
think
if it's
the
a super
issue.
personal thought, it's probably not being said out loud, right?
Yeah, I think the issue is um the uh the rules of the challenge. I think
Okay.
uh does it rewrite the universe to that you never learned what people are going to say out loud and
Well,
what they're thinking?
I think that the way these questions usually work is wherever you are at right now in your life, this will happen. I don't think it's like from birth, right? This is like a
I think it would be. I think
if
that
this button was
question
in
would
front of
only work
you,
at birth
well,
because it
I
would be
suppose
much too easy. It would be much the upsides would be so much easier if you could fucking if
well,
right now
I
with
don't
your
think so.
understanding of
I
like
do
social
think there
interaction.
I do think there are
No.
instances where it would be a little difficult, right? Because I know that for me, or like sometimes, and I know that sometimes other people do this, they'll think about what to say right before they're gonna say it, right? So it could very easily there could be many instances where this is a bad thing or where this you'd mistake it, right?
All right,
You'd kind
here's
of
the
just
cheat
have
code. I'm about to break your question real quick. I'm about to break your fucking question real quick. All right.
to
You
say
ready?
repeat that over.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Just be like, "Hey, did you say something?" Oh, I'm sorry.
But look,
You just
the
play it off as
problem
being
with that
absent-minded.
the problem with that is that people would think that you're just not listening to them ever.
No. Just play it off as like, "Oh, I'm hard of hearing." You know? Like,
Yeah, like again, like if it's like right now in your life, I there's people that would know you that would that would not believe you or that would be very they would be very weirded out. They're acting very different. But I think that this is kind of an easier one cuz I feel like I'd rather know what they're thinking but not know if it's their thoughts or their actual words because again, we could probably use context clues to figure out most of it.
I think it's much too easy
And then if it's too close and you
this
really don't
current
know,
concept.
but think about it this way, right? Think about if they're thinking about something and you say, "Can you repeat that?" How weird that would be for the person there. They'd be like, "What are you talking about? I haven't
I
talked
think
to the
if
entire
it's
crowd at home, you know?"
I there have already been like movies about this though, you know? Like What Women Want by Mel Gibson
Is
or
that
starring Mel Gibson is uh,
what
uh
women want?
I don't know I don't even know if that if I should call it a guilty pleasure or if it's actually good. I don't know.
The thing is,
Jury's still out on that. But I
I
like that movie. I think it's okay.
I do have to say, like, there have been times where I will just pull up Netflix and put it on a movie that's not very good, just because it has like an actor that I like, or
Yeah.
it's just mildly funny, you know. And it's usually like some random rom com or some random like action movie
Yeah.
that's like a
It's a
throwaway movie.
rom-com. All
It's
right.
mostly
I
it's
don't
times a rom com. Yeah, there's so many
Yeah.
rom
All
coms.
right. I don't know if you've heard of it or seen it, but here's the plot summary. Mel Gibson is kind of like a misogynist asshole in advertising, and he gets put on this thing with Helen Hunt. I think it's either Helen Hunt or Jodie Foster, but it can't be Jodie Foster, so it's Helen Hunt. And
Jeff
uh,
Helen Hunt.
yeah, he's trying to they're trying to introduce a new Nike ad for women,
Hmm.
and he's like, "Oh, he doesn't know what women want because he's like a womanizer, and he's like uh he only sort of cares about women in terms of like sleeping with them." So he does this little thing in his bathtub, and long story short, he gets the ability to hear women's thoughts,
Okay.
and it's nothing but a boon for him. And then he kind of like gains a new appreciation for the female sex and blah 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 blah.
Okay. All
But
right.
basically, it's nothing but a good thing for him. He can like understand everything, you know? Like he's incredible, and it's a superhuman ability. Even if you can't tell, like, oh, this is what she said and this is what she's thinking, it's still fucking
Okay,
really, really powerful. And I don't think there
I
is a
feel like
downside to it in this current scenario.
we do say ignorance is bliss sometimes, but I feel like even in this situation, that doesn't really outweigh the benefits, right?
I would
There,
say ignorance is bliss up until the point where you know someone's deepest, darkest secrets, and then you can uh, be like, oh, blah, blah, blah. He told me about this, and you can put two people against each other, play both sides that you're and say, come out on top, and you can destroy relationships, marriages, fucking
okay, well, you're thinking about using the power for evil, it
business
seems like.
partnerships. Hey, who said it was for evil? Maybe I'm breaking up an abusive marriage.
Oh,
Or
okay, okay. I didn't think about it that way. I thought you were just out here just randomly finding marriages and tearing them apart for the
Professor
fun of it.
X. Professor X is a fucking superhero for a reason, okay? He has his powers. I think he had them from birth, and he's never had a problem with them, okay? Homie
Like,
is
I
like,
definitely think that this is the type of power that again would help you out a lot, right? You'd be talking to somebody, if they have a bad thought, you would know. Maybe you won't say anything right away, you'll absorb the information, use it for later, right?
yeah.
It's that sort of thing that I feel like even if you don't know what they're saying, you could always react and answer in the blandest, safest way possible, right?
Hey, can you repeat that?
Oh, I said you can always respond to any situation in the blandest
I hate you
way
so much.
possible,
Die. Do
right?
not exist anymore. Keep yourself from existing.
What's
I
wrong with what I said?
I said I'm saying, can you repeat that as in like that's the blandest thing you can say?
Oh, I thought that I cut
I thought you
out.
were
Okay.
No, I thought you were making a joke. I thought you were doing that to be funny. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna repeat what I said because well, I guess we know it works. I guess we know it works. Shit.
I I swear I thought I cut out again. I was like, oh, I guess you hear what I said.
No, that's all right. You know what? That's a great place to end it. Good job. I think
I
we both would push that fucking button.
yeah, push the button. I
Yeah,
there's
considering we
there's
know how good our strategy is.
we have a strategy. We're ready to you take advantage of it. Not get taken
Yeah,
advantage of. All those things. It's gonna be great.
hell yeah. All right. I've been incredibly influential. Oh God. Oh Lord.
And
Oh
I've
God.
been highly successful.
We'll see you in the next episode.